Where's that blasted light switch? I guess it's time for a new video, huh? Yeah. Alrighty then. Hello. It's your boy Gato here, coming at you again with something interesting. So I was sleeping, and as I was sleeping, I had something come to mind, which woke me up. There's a lot of games out there that never came to the US, which is definitely not fair because Japan always gets really cool games. However, now in the modern day, everyone has access to everything thanks to the good old internet. Which means that yes, even those games, they were out there in the East, right? Yes, in the land of the rising sun, are now accessible to us. But what do you do if you can't speak the language, let alone read it? It's not like anyone can learn a language super fast. That is until our new sponsor for our video, Skillshare. I could even say that with a straight face. No, we're not sponsored. I'm just kidding. Although I wish. Call me up. Call me. Let's work together. Anyways, if you haven't noticed, basically, we're going to be talking about patches. Roll the intro. If you know what a patch is, then you're good to start. But if you don't know what a patch is, allow me to explain. Patches, pronounced patch, is Latin for make stuff cool. If you don't believe me, take a look at examples of some stuff that looks cooler when you put a patch on it. Here we got just, a regular jean jacket. Nothing special about it. But wait! You throw a patch on it and all of a sudden, boom! It becomes a really cool piece of clothing. A Boy Scout. Nothing special about him, but give him a patch or two and BAM! All of a sudden, kid turns into Rambo, killing everyone. Stuck in a loveless marriage. Throw a patch on it. Sooner or later, you'll be back in love. Okay, so now that you know that, patches come in all sorts of shapes and sizes, and are special text / configurations that people make in order to expand on the experience that one person might have with the game. It can range from something simple as changing colors or adding colors to games that didn't have color to begin with. And it can also go as far as changing a game completely and making it something new out of something that already exists. So, here's the game that we're going to be testing out when it comes to patches. We're going to go ahead and start on RetroArch. If you remember from my previous video, you'll have learned how to navigate this emulator. So we're going to go to load content, start directory, parent directory, and the lost dire folder. And the game we're going to be testing out and applying a patch to is the Japan exclusive. Here it is. Clock Tower. Now, this is a big shout out to SSOR Bob. He was the one who helped me figure out how to get this actually running on RetroArch, because some games won't run on a single core. You have to actually download a couple and test him out. And because of him, this video is actually possible due to his efforts in helping me test games. So, if you want to play Clock Tower as well, you'll have to use the SNES NX 2010 core in RetroArch. So, let's boot it up. Oh boy. So, this game here is absolutely terrifying. And what makes it even more interesting is how suspenseful they were able to make an SNES game. Like the sounds alone, especially since the RP2 has stereo sound, is ridiculous. How tense this game can get. Alright, so you can get spooked later. What we want to see is right here. So since the game obviously only came out in Japan, all the text except for the main menu, interestingly enough, is Japanese. So here you go. So I can't read Japanese. So this game, to be fully enjoyed, should be played in a language you understand. So if you know the language, awesome. But if you're like me, that only knows English, well, and a couple other languages, but Japanese isn't one of them, this is where patches come in. Alrighty, so I put the RP2 away, it's charging, and now we're going to go ahead and hop onto the computer. We're going to get a English translation patch for Clock Tower, apply the patch to the ROM, and then we are going to run the game with the patch. And if we did it successfully, the game should be in English. So let's get started.
Alrighty. I keep saying alrighty. I need a catchphrase or something. Maybe that will be my catchphrase. Anyways, so here we are on our desktop. It's a lot more colorful than last time. I made myself a wallpaper. That's a hint for what the next video is going to be. So anyways, the patch. I'm going to assume that you guys have learned, at least at this point, where to find your own ROMs. In case you haven't, I'm not going to teach you that. That's not the point of the video. And it never will be the point of the video, just as a disclaimer. So over here, I have both of the files that we're going to need. But just for the sake of teaching, I'm going to go through the two sites that you're going to use in order to make a translated ROM. This right here is a raw Japanese file. This right here is the English translation patch that we're going to be putting onto this. So you're going to go to two websites in particular. The first one being romhacking.net. And don't worry, I'm going to include a link in the description that directs you directly to that. I don't think that was proper English. Anyways, on this website, I know it looks like a lot to take in and it could be overwhelming because there is a ton of stuff, and you'd be right. There is a ton of stuff. And it ranges from, like what I had mentioned previously, just simple translation hacks and patches to full-on overhauls that change a game completely. But for the purposes of this video, what we're trying to do is just get a translation hack. So you'll see that romhack.net has a sections tab. And over here, it'll teach you, well, not teach you, it'll direct you, better said, to what it is that we're actually looking for. So for our case, we're going to go to translations. Now, here is your best friend, which is this search bar. Now, depending on how specific of a patch you need, the giant portal over here will be able to cater to your specific need. So if it's an English patch to translation you need, or if it's another language, they have a ton that they've worked on. So if your language is here, awesome. What language do you speak? Comment below. I don't know. Anyways, so we're looking for a Clock Tower patch. So the key to making this work in your favor is being extremely specific. And if you don't know exactly what you're looking for, you can go to Reddit, Discord. There's a bunch of forums and whatnot that can teach you what exactly a patch has and if it's what you're looking for. But 9 out of 10 times or 10 out of 10 times, this site will have what you're looking for. So we're going to put clock tower and search. And as you're going to see, a bunch of results come forward. And yeah, the RP2 can actually play the PlayStation version of the game as well. But we're looking for the SNES one, which is right here. So opening that is going to take you to this page right here. And it'll tell you what exactly the patch does. So it says this is a complete English translation patch of the original Clock Tower on Super Famicom. So what you're going to do is click on download. I already downloaded, so I don't have to. Now, it's going to be in a zip file. So when that zip file opens, after it finishes downloading, all you're going to do is extract the patch and put it onto your desktop. You can rename it so that way you know what exactly it is. I just pulled it out as is clocktower.ips. Or I think I renamed it like that. Probably. Point is, this is the file that you're going to need. Most patches are going to be an IPS file. Why? I'm not sure. But it's there. So once you download the patch, and I'm assuming you have the ROM or you know where to look for the ROM, you're going to go to another website, rompatcher.js or macrobleedo.com. And this is the extension to it. I'll also put a link in the description to this website as well. So you'll notice here it says the ROM file and the patch file. And if you're good at math and you know how to put 2 and 2 together, you're going to see we're going to go to choose file, go to the desktop, and we're going to get our Clock Tower Japanese ROM. And the patch, we're going to go to desktop and click on the IPS. Now, the cool thing about this website is that on top of it being online and you're not having to download a specific software. You can do this online on the fly. And it'll detect your IPS file that you need in order to do the patch. So you're just going to go ahead and click open, and it says apply patch. Now, here is a more important step. You can leave it like this where it says patched, or you can rename the game. So for my purpose, I'm just going to name it Clock Tower DX, because most improvements in games always had a DX in that time. I don't know why. And then just put English patch, just so that way you don't get confused when you open it in RetroArch. And it's going to save as a file that's read on the Super Nintendo emulator in RetroArch. So I'm going to click save and show in the folder and pull it out right here. So this is the ROM you're going to want from this point on. So now you have no need for any of this. So like our previous video, just go ahead and get rid of that stuff and empty your bin. Yes. So now we're going to go ahead and load it onto our SD card and then pop it into the RetroArch on our RP2. So let's go ahead and do that now.
Alrighty. So we got our patched ROM put into the RP2. So now let's go back into RetroArch. We're going to do the same thing we did before, patching. But now, instead of going to the Japanese ROM, we're going to head over to the English patched one. So we're going to open up our SNES folder once we arrive here. And there you go. So we have our original Japanese Clock Tower ROM, and right under it we have Clock Tower DX English patch, which is the one that we named and did all the patch work when we run the computer. So now, if we did everything right, when we start it, it should start with English. Let's hope we did everything right. Oh, yeah. Okay, so far so good. Now, if you remember, the starting text in the story was Japanese. So, let's see if we did the patch right. There you have it. So, we've successfully patched our game. Well, my lovely internet ghouls and gals and whatever the hell you are, that's all the time we have for this week. I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope you learned something. This is actually a pretty useful skill if you're into gaming and you want to expand your horizons past the same 4 or 5 games that you tend to play. Give it a look. Take a crack at it. The worst you can do is just mess up and have to start again and patch a game. But it's pretty simple, and like I mentioned at the beginning, I'll include links to both sites that I used in the video down below. So yeah, till next time, take care, stay safe and healthy, and before I go, my company and clothing line, Wear, we just launched new merchandise. So if you're interested in some really cool artwork on your clothes, we got you covered. We have a new collection coming out in November, so if you want to snag yourself a tee or you want to snag a tee for your family, go ahead and click the link to my store below as well. Yeah, so that'll be it. I am tired. So this is Gato signing out. Oh yeah. I forgot, leave the like, and as I always say, do the things that the site tells you to do with the bells and the subscribe and the whatnot. Okay, now I'm leaving. Hey, so you made it to the end of the video. Thank you for watching again. Sincerely, I mean that. And also special thanks again to SSOR Bob, because without you, man, this video literally would not have existed, and I definitely would not have been able to film everything I had to film, edit everything, and put it all together in this duct taped mess that I called this video. So thank you again, and to all of you in action and in reality, because you guys enjoying it and learning stuff is half the fun of making these videos. And if you want to get caught up or watch something else, go ahead and click any of the videos that are, I guess, popping in the screen right now, and I'll see you next time.